Okay, today's date is 2/8/21. Remember that at the end, you're going to take a picture of these notes and upload them. You got to make sure you have all these notes. Okay, so we are going to today write the inequality given the graph. Given the graph, write the inequality. Given the graph. All right, so we're kind of like working backwards from last week. So if I give you the following graph, okay, and so this is a graph. Yes, I want you to copy it. Man, I have horrible writing. Write the inequality given the graph. So here is the graph, right? I want you to tell me what's the inequality shown by this graph. What is the inequality shown by this graph? Does anybody know what the inequality that is being shown on this graph? What would be the inequality? Oh, yes. Yes, so the inequality itself is greater than or equal to, but together, it is very good. X is less than, oh wait, it is less than or equal to. It is less than or equal to. So the way you do this is what you do. You write, you want the easy way? Follow me. The easy way, don't make this harder for yourselves. The easiest way to do this is to first write the letter X. Or whatever variable you want to use, right? We always use X. Always start with the variable X. Don't start with the number. You want to complicate your life? Start with the number. Don't. Start with your X. Then put the number, okay? So how do I know it's 9? Because the circle is with the 9. So wherever the circle is, that's the number you're going to use. Okay, so that's your foundation. You start with an X and then you put the number. Now, the inequality. Which inequality do I use? Well, you can use the shortcut that I showed you. This is pointing that way, right? Oh, look right there. That's your inequality right there. Literally, whatever it's pointing to, because you put the X there, you can use that as a shortcut. Now you see, and it's a closed circle, right? So when it's a closed circle, you're going to put the extra little line on there, okay? So because it's a closed circle, you're going to add that little line, right? You would write this as X is less than or equal to 9. Okay. Honestly, I don't expect you to write this down for every problem. We're just doing it for like right now, this example, so you understand it. This is read as X is less than or equal to 9. I don't expect this. For your classwork, I expect you to do this. I expect you to copy the graph, and then this is called writing the inequality. So copy the graph, write the inequality. That's what I expect you to do for classwork today, okay? But it's always good to know how to read this. X is less than or equal to 9, because some of you were typing it in the chat, and you have to make sure that you understand the difference. This is called less than or equal to. Less than or equal to. All right, easy enough? I mean, it should be. If you know the shortcut from last week, it should be an easy lesson. Now, I did write someone in this class a note about their number line, so make sure you check out my comments on your assignments. You got to make sure you. Question: when you guys get an email notification that I have like rated something, does it attach the comment or not? Does anybody know? Like when I make a comment on your assignments, do you get notified that I made a comment? Does it show up on your grade that I made a comment? Or do you have to like purposely look for comments?
I have to purposely look for it.
Boo! Boo! Boo. Well, which is probably why I give you guys zeros if you don't do something right. Because I know if I give you a zero, you'll look for like, what? Why did she give me a zero? You know? That's one of the main reasons I give you zeros is like, I think like if I give you a zero, you will 100% not be happy with it. So you'll be like, you'll look for the reason. I think if I gave you like 8s and 9s, you wouldn't care. You'd be like, oh, cool, I got an A minus. Oh, I got a B, no worries. And I don't think you would go and investigate why. So you can say I mean an evil, but you know. All right. What would be the inequality here? What would be, so you copy the graph, and then you tell me what would be the inequality. Now, the easiest way to do this, write the X and write the number. Write the X and write the number. Then take like 10 seconds to see, well, what inequality should be used. And again, you can always go back to these notes, right? That kind of show you what does it mean when it's an open circle, what do you use when it's a closed circle, which the directions, things like that. Super helpful. Yep, Paul, very good. So it would be, start off with an X, use the number. Don't use the number it starts with. Don't use this number. Use the number where the circle is. Okay, that's the number I use. Now, for when it comes to the inequality, basically you're just looking at where it's pointing. Oh, look, it's pointing that way. Literally, I just drew my inequality. I'm just going to transfer it over, and then I check out the circle. If it's open, I leave it alone. If it's shaded in, closed, then I put the extra little line. But since it's open, leave it alone. This is my answer. X is greater than negative 25. X is greater than negative 25. Easy? Not easy? How are we feeling about this? I mean, that's it. This is the 7th grade. It does get harder in high school. So for us, this is as hard as it gets, kids. This is, well, no, it's going to get a little bit harder. Not really. Once you know how to graph and read a graph, you're good. Last week, we drew graphs. This week, we're reading graphs. So if you know how to do both of them, you're set. What would be this inequality? Okay. So start off with this number. 18. Oh, no, sorry. Start off with X and then this number. Why this number? Because it's where the circle is. So that's the number we're going to use. Now, if you use my shortcut, literally you go here and you kind of just trace it and be like, oh, look, there's my inequality. Literally what you draw right there is your inequality if you use the shortcut. Now, if you start with your number, my shortcut doesn't work. But why would you? Start with your x. And then you go here and it's a closed circle, right? So if it's a closed circle, you're going to add this extra little line right here, the equal to part. So if it's a closed circle, make sure you add that extra little tiny little line at the end. X is less than or equal to 18. Very good, Jocelyn. All right.